So I'm going to be talking about the Schengen visa process for people who stay in the UK. I'm a worker in the UK, so I'll be geared more towards the people who work, but I'll try as much as possible to infuse what I know about the student route also. There's not much of a difference, but yeah, I will just try my best to make it short and as compact as possible. Also, this video was made on a whim, so forgive my unpreparedness. Okay, so first of all, you need to decide on the country that you want to go to, and also the cities that you want to go to while you're there, because this is going to help decide how your trip is going to go. So there are some cities that are known for some particular kind of activities, and you need to find out if they are aligned with your interests. For example, if you're deciding to go to Greece, you can decide to go to a particular spot in Greece, like maybe Athens, or you can decide to go to Santorini. So you need to do all this research. It's going to affect your length of stay, and it's going to affect your hotel bookings and accommodation bookings. Now that you've decided on a country that you're going to and the city you're going to, you need to figure out how long you're going to be staying here. Generally, I prefer to stay in a place for 3 days because it gives me enough time to actually get to know the place and explore, and also doesn't give me room to get bored, because I find out that if I stay in a place for a long time, I get bored of the place and I run out of activities to do. So 3 days is probably my recommendation, but I mean, you can stay longer if you have stuff to do. The next thing for you to do is to look for an appointment date. I'm going to be using Greece as my destination country in the Schengen area, and just so we know, not all the countries in Europe are covered by the Schengen visa. Maybe do more research on that. There are some countries you can go to without like applying to them directly for a Schengen visa. Countries like Croatia. Oh my god, I'm going into another place. But anyway, I'm going to be using Greece as like my destination country for the purpose of this video, and like I said before, this video is targeted at people who stay in the UK. So if you're looking for an appointment date, all I do is I do a Google search, VFS, Greece and UK. That's all I literally need to search for: VFS, Greece, UK. VFS being the partner company that takes up that takes your documents and sends it to the embassy. They're like the middlemen in this visa processing thing, and all I need to do is search for VFS, Greece and UK being where I'm staying and Greece being where I'm going to, and literally it's going to bring out the all the search results are going to be geared towards VFS, Greece and UK. So basically I would just click on the first link that is there. It's either the first or the second one. Click on the first one and it takes you to where you're going to. Now generally you should see a page that tells you about the requirements that it's needed for this visa. I'll be attaching that to this video. You'd see a page that talks about the requirements for this visa, gives you like options on the types of visa that you should be applying for. So all you need to do is choose a short stay. Sometimes they put it as a type C visa. A type C visa is also known as a short stay visa or a tourist visa. So it depends on the country you're applying to. I think in Malta is known as a short stay visa, but in Greece, for Greece, it's known as a type C visa or a tourist visa. So it could come under this name. Now click on it, put in your details, and try to see if you can search out an appointment date. Now do not book this date yet. Normally people like to go and book a flight and book a hotel, but I feel like if you do all this and it turns out that you come back to book an appointment and they don't have an appointment date for you that's before when you want to travel, what do you do? So generally what I do is I like to check if there's an appointment date first. So let's say I want to travel in the month of March of 2023. I search for an appointment date that is probably in January of 2023. That way I have enough time before my travel date to gather my before my travel dates to make sure that the visa is out before I want to travel, and also it gives me enough time to plan myself and gather the documents that are required for this travel. So now that you've seen an appointment date that you might want to book, it's time for you to go check out flights. So I would recommend you use sites like Opodo, OPODO. I'm not like a brand ambassador or something, but that's what I use. So you can use Opodo to check out flights. You find out the costs of the time you want to travel in. So when you search out, you should bear in mind that different dates have different prices for them. which is why you do not need to book these flights yet, because you might feel like traveling on maybe a Sunday to a Thursday, and it turns out that the flight for Sunday to Thursday is maybe £200, and the flight for Monday to, let's say, Friday is £70. You would probably want to go for the one of £70. So it's best for you to just compare and contrast the different days, so you can do like different combinations: Monday to Thursday, Sunday to Wednesday, Saturday to Tuesday, just to find out which one is the best one for you and go for the one that's going to suit your plans. Then you can also do the same for hotels. I use booking.com for most of my hotel reservations, and sometimes I just go to Google and type the area I want to stay in, which is, of course, after that there's a lot of research that goes into planning a trip. It's, if I want to start talking about all the research that you have to do, it's probably not going to fit in this video, but there's a lot of research. It's easy, but it's also quite hard, but I enjoy doing it anyway, so it's good for me. So back to what we're saying. I already know the destination, like the area I want to stay in the country, so sometimes I just use Google and type hotels, and it brings out all the hotels in that area, and then I filter it to my price range. After filtering it to my price range, I then go through and go through the reviews on each hotel and basically just choose what I want. I would most likely prefer a place that has breakfast, because I like to book tours on my trips, and I leave for my tours quite early, so I wouldn't want to run around in the morning to be looking for food. So I like to book places that have breakfast included. If it's a place that has lots of water, I like to book a room that has like the sea view. So those are like some of the things I look out for when I'm booking a hotel, and you'll be shocked at the ridiculous amounts you can actually get them. You can get them for quite cheap, especially if you're booking them quite early. So I would advise you look into like planning your trips months ahead of time, because you will get ridiculous prices. You get like when I mean ridiculous, I don't mean like bad prices, I mean like very good prices if you book in advance. So check for your hotels, check for what you need. My preference will not be your preference, so check the price range for the dates it's very, very important to check for the dates you're traveling, because also the prices of the hotels change too. You could see a hotel for, let's say, £70 per night for the weekend, but then on the weekdays it's like £40 per night. So a pro tip here is to always book your trips during the weekdays, because on the weekends they are more expensive. So weekdays for your trips, never plan to like go on a Sunday, because on a Sunday prices are quite dicey. Sometimes it could be really, really expensive, and sometimes it could be really, really cheap. So I'm sure if you start searching for it, you get the hang of it. You know how to circumvent all this particular obstacles. So basically in the weekdays hotels are quite cheap. After hotels, once you've settled on an affordable flight that you're going to use and an affordable hotel that you're going to use, you can now go back to your booking and choose an appropriate date for your visa appointment. Now your visa appointment date is the date where you go and submit all your requirements. I'll be posting a list of the requirements that's needed for Greece, but you should bear in mind that different countries have different requirements that they need. Most of them are actually similar, but they differ in stuff like for a student, you need to produce a student letter. Meanwhile, someone who is working needs to produce an employment letter. Then the amount you need to have in your account differs. For Greece, I think it's £40 per day, and for Malta, I think it's £50 per day. So just minor differences like this. Actually, I'll post one for Greece. Sorry, I need to go back to something. Irrespective of the fact that I'm using Greece for the purpose of this video, other countries also have their partner agencies. Like I said, VFS is the one that Greece uses. A couple of other countries in the Schengen area also uses VFS, but some use another partner agency called TLS, and then some you have to actually apply direct to the country's embassy for you to get your documents across to them. So what I do is I search TLS. I search for VFS and the country first. If it doesn't give me anything positive, I search for TLS and the country. If it doesn't give me anything positive, and then I just do a deep dive on Google and find out if I need to submit my documents to the agencies, to the country's embassies directly. But most of the time you find them on VFS anyway, or TLS. I think Spain uses TLS, Spain or France, one of them. Anyway, back to the video. You'd also get a mail when you book your application dates. You need to print it out or save it in your phone or something, because you're going to be asked for it when you go to submit your documents. So like I said, for your hotel bookings you can use Opodo. For your hotel bookings you can use Opodo, but I feel like Opodo is quite pricey sometimes. But yeah, I use, for my flight bookings I use Opodo, and for my hotel bookings I use booking.com. Now you need to print out your hotel bookings, like the email they send to you. You need to print it out. So your confirmation email is meant to show your name, it's meant to show how long you're supposed to be in the accommodation for, and if it's for flight, it needs to show your entry and your exit points into the country. So it should clearly state your entry and your exit points. So definitely it's a return ticket that you're going to be booking. You also need to take a passport photo of yourself. The passport has to be taken in the last 6 months of your application date. So you need to, in the UK it's quite hard. It's not like Nigeria where you can just go to a photographer, but you can find passport booths at literally any mega store around you. I think there's some in Asda, you can find some in Boots, you can also find some in train stations. So you can take passport photo. You need to be specific when you're choosing it. You have to choose the one that's for the Schengen area. So you need to take your passport picture alongside with you. You also need to get travel insurance. Travel insurance is best for you to do one that lasts you a year, because it's quite cost effective. The one I use Virgin Money, and I do 1 year covering the Schengen area for just myself, and it costs me about £44 a year. If you want to do it individually for every trip that you do, I think it costs about £25 for every trip. And if you're going to take, let's say, I like to travel a lot, so I take an average of 4 or 5 trips every year. So if I was doing it that way, it would cost me about 100 and something quid, and I feel like paying £44 is cheaper. So yeah, you need to get your travel insurance. So yeah, I am in no way affiliated to all these companies I'm mentioning. I am just telling you what I use personally. So like I said, I use travel for my travel insurance I use Virgin Money. So you can just Google Virgin Money and then fill the whole form and get your travel insurance, have it on your phone, print it out and take it as part of your document. So now you're almost set for your application date. Remember to go with your passport, and your passport should not be expiring. Remember to go with your BRP for your appointment dates. I've actually gone to London once before. Like, I literally packed my stuff and went all the way from here to London, and I forgot my passport. I was so gutted that day. So please do not forget to take any of these documents. Now, people also ask me how I get to find out activities that I do when I travel. So before I travel, it's part of the research actually. Before I pick a place I want to go to, I already have like specific things I want to do. When I went to do parasailing, I already knew I wanted to do parasailing, so I chose a place that I could parasail, and that was in Malta. So I used TripAdvisor to find out activities that I can do in the area. So all you need to do is go to TripAdvisor, click on the search button and search for whatever you want to do, and search for the location, or easy way, search for the location. So let's say, for example, Malta. When it gives you like a landing page of Malta, you click on the things to do page. It will give you most of the activities that are available to be booked in that area, and then you can just look through it, go through the reviews and book the one that suits you, or book the one that you think you might want to do. Unfortunately enough, they have like a buy now pay, not like a buy now pay later a plan, but you can actually show interest and book it, and then it debits you like 2 days to the activity. So it's quite easy for you. So yeah, I use TripAdvisor. I also use Viator. Viator is like Viator. I use those 2 sites for booking of my activities. I've spilled all the beans in this video. I mean, you're almost set for your travel to Europe. So now is the time for you to do all your packing, get set, get ready, buy your things, do all the shopping that you need to do to get yourself ready for this trip. You should also take note that your box recommendation, most especially for budget flights like EasyJet and Ryanair, you should look at the luggage allowance that you are permitted to travel with, because if you go above the luggage allowance, you would be paying extra money to get your bag on a plane. So you should always look at the luggage allowance. I have a small box which I use, and that is what I always use for most of my trips. It fits into the cabin overhead thing on the plane. And I think if you're using EasyJet, if you do not pay for extra luggage, you would have to carry a bag that fits under the chair, and that's like the smallest of the boxes. So you should be very, very careful with that, because I've ended up paying £24 for one bag before at the airport. I wasn't happy. I'm just going to do like a little frequently asked questions. How long should you budget before your travel date, like in between your travel date and when you submit your visa thing? You should normally state it on the website, and I think for most countries it's about 3 weeks, but I like to give it a month, and sometimes even above a month, because there can be peak periods for travel, and during those peak periods you do not want to be caught waiting with your chest in your mouth, waiting for when your passport is going to come back. So I always like to give it 1 month and 1 month above. The question that people ask is, how long do you think you can use to gather your requirements before your appointment date? Well, it depends on you. Some people need to get employment letters. Some people do not have the cash to book a flight at that time. So I think it depends on you and your pocket. Personally, I almost always have an employment letter ready for me, so I can book an appointment date for next week, and I'm sure that I'm going to go with everything ready for next week. So it just depends on how fast you think you can gather your documents, but I would say at least 2 weeks to be on the safe side. 2 weeks for you to, so basically today is the 2nd of December. So if I wanted to book an appointment date, I would book it for 2 weeks from now, which is 14 days from today, which is 16. So I'll be booking an appointment date for 16th of December, which is 16th is the day I'm going to go submit my documents. Do you get? Another frequently asked question is, do you need to book your flight and your hotel before you go for your visa appointment date? Yes, you need to book your visa and your you need to book your hotel, and your I'm so tired. That's probably why I'm missing words. I've had such a hectic day. So yes, you need to book your flight and your hotel before you go for your visa appointment, because you're going to be showing confirmation emails. You're going to be showing that, and you're going to be submitting that. So yes. Question that I expect to be, okay, for other countries that are not Malta or Greece, how do you go about it? Well, the steps are actually quite similar. If you can't remember like the whole VFS TLS thing, you can literally just Google requirements for a dash visa. So let's say Austria, requirements for an Austria visa. Is it A or An? Requirements for an Austria visa for a UK resident, and you would see the steps that are needed. The thing is, it might take a lot of research, but you would get there finally. So for other countries too, like I said, that do not need you to directly apply, for countries like Croatia. So for a UK resident, Croatia does not need you to apply to them to get a visa to come in, but they need you to hold an active Schengen visa. So if you have a Schengen visa that was given to you from another country, you can use it to enter into Croatia as a UK resident. That is their own law. There are other countries like that too. I think Albania is one of that. I'm not too sure, but I'm very sure of Croatia. Another question would be, how long do they give for the Schengen visa? It's actually dependent on the embassy and how they see it fit. So that's not for you to decide. Actually, the embassy gives you what they see fit. common question is, can you use a visa that was given to you by one country to enter another? Yes and no. So I'm going to explain yes. Yes is that if Greece gives you a visa and in the same trip you want to go to Malta, when I mean in the same trip, you're in Greece and you want to go to Malta, yes, you can go there. You can go with that visa. But if you've been given a single entry visa and you go to Greece, you come back to the UK and want to go again to maybe Malta with that same visa, it's not going to be possible if you've been given a single entry visa. I'll probably do like a separate video for how to recognize the kind of visa you've been given, because there's a single entry visa, there's a multiple entry visa, and there are also like length of stays visa. So you can be given a multiple entry visa, but they've given you just 10 days, which is what they did for me on my last one. They gave me a multiple entry visa with 10 days. That just meant that I could go to different countries with that visa, but I wouldn't extend 10 days. So I'll probably do like a separate video explaining those sorts of visas. You should take note that if you've been given a single entry visa and you go to a country, you need to also exit from the country that you specified during your application. So if you specify that you're going to Greece and you're also returning from Greece, if you decide that you want to go from Greece to, let's say, Malta, you need to come back to Greece to fly out of Greece. So I think I'm just going to wrap up this video here, because I feel like I'm deviating and I've gone into other topics. Like I said, the specifics of traveling is quite a broad topic, and I'll probably be doing like subsequent videos about it, like on different segments. If there's any other question you have, you can just ask it in the comment section or send me a message. Also, if there's any other like topic relating to travel that you feel like you want me to do like a video on, you can also broach that to me and I'll see if I can do one. Thank you for listening. It's quite a long video. I did not plan for this video to be this long, but it's been quite a long video. Thank you for watching me. Please do like, subscribe and comment. Share this video to your friends who are in the UK who want to travel. Share this video also to your friends who are coming to the UK who want to travel. Share this video with people who you know that just need this video. Watch, like, share, subscribe, just keep supporting me. Thank you for listening. Thank you everyone. I'm so tired. I'm just going to go to bed now. Thank you and bye bye.